ready? Am I ready? Am I ready? I really hate to turn this off. Alright, I'll come back to that later. And I will shut my phone sound off. And there we go. Alright, are we a few minutes? We're early. We're a few minutes early. We could still listen. We could keep listening to music for the next 5 minutes. Or I could get set up here so that I know what's going on. Well, hey, there we are. There we are. Can you hear me now? Hey, I turned the mic on. Let's see, OBS. Okay, let me turn the desktop audio off. Where am I? I'm so confused. That was my skull. Oh my gosh. Turning the mic on was a good start. Yes, it was. Wow. I've had a full week, so I'm not sure where to start. But if I look like I'm exhausted, it's partially that, but partially is that, Spicoli. That I'm diabetic, and they put me on insulin this year, and so we've been trying to get my insulin right, and I got my levels down to where they're pretty good now, but I'm like wiped out. So I'm fine. I just look like I haven't slept in a week. But anyway, where to start? It was kind of an interesting week. I did a bunch of stuff this week. I ended up coming home early Wednesday and Thursday because I just wasn't feeling good. And Thursday night, my boss texts me and says, "Don't come in tomorrow." So I was off all day Friday, and laid around most of the day. But I got some stuff done, which was helpful. So, but unfortunately, I ran into a major stumbling block. Now, the super secret build, that everybody knows what it is now, is kind of on hold because I lost the exhaust cone. So I had to order another kit. But it'll be here tomorrow. I don't have to leave until Saturday morning, so I'm okay. I've not been extremely kind to Hasegawa over the years, mainly because I think they're way overpriced. They're way too proud of their stuff. But I will say this F-16A kit is sweet. I mean, it goes together really, really, really well. The 1/72nd scale one that I had going, not so much. But this 1/48 scale kit is very nice. I have the 1/32nd scale kit, which is the Dash 5, Block 5, the very early aircraft. And it's, so I hope that's nice too, because I want to build that one of these days. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's giant. But, I remember when the 16s came out, And, you know, we grew up, at least my generation, and that was into modeling, we grew up with the Century series aircraft and these big, brutal American airplanes. I mean, you know, just these beasts, the F4 and the F-111 and the A7s and you know, the F8s and that and the A6s and that kind of stuff. And so yeah, you know, so when the 16 came along, it was kind of like a really, what, you know, but it wasn't so space cadet looking that it was ugly. I guess it wasn't like when the 80, was it the 82 Camaro? When the 82 Camaro came out and everybody was like, what the hell is that? Right? What did they do? That's not a Camaro. You know, and then the Taurus came, it was a lawn dart, yeah. The Taurus came out. And anyway, but you know, we had the F-15, like I said, and the F-4, and I love F-4s, as probably most people do, because how can you not love something that's huge and heavy and loud and smokes like a train? Right? How can that be bad? But anyway, so the F-16 was a completely different animal, you know, and it was I think at the beginning it was kind of a letdown, and but you know, it's proven itself to be a quite capable airframe. But I think a lot of us thought that it was going to be a really expensive F5. And you know, and I was one of the people, not that I'm anybody, you know, I was a kid at the time, but I was kind of on the bench with the, you know, building a crap ton of F5s would have probably been a good thing, but you know, that seems good when you're a teenager, early 20s, but when you realize that you have to crew all those aircraft, that's a whole different ball game, right? But you know, in my head, it goes back to World War II, where, you know, the fact of the matter is did we have the best equipment on the battlefield? No, but we had a lot of it, right? And the same with the Russians. It's like, do you need to have the best stuff on the planet? If you can, you know, just build 10,000 of them for the price of 500 of whatever else it is you're buying. But anyway, I'm getting way off on a tangent here. But, so the bottom line is I lost the exhaust cone, and that other kid will be here tomorrow, and I don't expect that to be an issue, because let me grab it. I got my nice new shelves over here, which you can't see, but we'll talk about that later. Get the Coral Sea out of the way. So yeah, I lost this whole thing. I lost it. But as I was saying, there's, no fit issues with this whatsoever. You can see where I filled in the pylon stuff. So my plan is to get the rest of the airframe put together, paint it, mask the wheel wells, paint them white, and then decal it. And I've got the tail codes done. I still need to do some other things. I'm hoping this decal sheet's pretty bad. I'm hoping the one that comes out of the other kit is going to be a lot better. And if not, I'll figure it out. I'll print some or whatever. Yeah, so this thing is pretty awesome, I think. I will fill you all in on who it's for and what the whole story is. I'm trying to think. I'm not going to be here next weekend because I'm going to be in Denver, which is where this is going. So I don't know whether I'll pre-record an episode or you'll have to wait 2 weeks to find out the whole story on this. But damn it, the nozzle is in that room somewhere. You're right. Hi, Jason. Jeff, you're right. It's here somewhere. And I'll find it. I'll stop at the post office and I'll get the other kit and I'll walk in the house and I'll sit down here and it'll be sitting right there. Right? Because that's the way the world works. So anyway, but yeah, this is a great kit. I and you can find these cheap. The A models are pretty inexpensive. The C's and stuff, not so much. But yeah, I'd build more of these. I probably will. Very nice. So let's see here. Back to it. So the other project is this the Coral Sea that I've been working on forever, and I'll be honest with you, I wanted to do a lot more to it, but I think my brother-in-law is getting impatient. So I'm gonna finish this out here. And I stayed, I don't know, I was up until like 1 o'clock in the morning building these little airplanes and helicopters and stuff last night. And doing a period correct air wing. I have to say, oh man, who is it that originally put these out? This is a ShutterAce boxing, but anyway, they gave you like aircraft for whatever era. So there's F4s and A6s and S2s and A4s and Sea Sprites and Sea Kings and there's all this different stuff. So you can pick the stuff out that you need to get the right era for your air wing. That said, they're not the greatest, and some of them, like these EA6s, the tails were separate, so I had to attach that. That was fun, as were the horizontal or the vertical stabs, or the semi-vertical stabs on an F-18. They were separate, and I had to glue those on. As was the radar dish on the E2s here. It wasn't super hard, but it took a while, and it's kind of I don't know. They're all right. I guess I'd feel better about it if they were nicer moldings, but they are what they are, and they'll be fine. It's 1/800 scale. What do you want, right? So my what I need to do now is I need to figure out. I'm thinking. So this is the 80s. So this is going to be. These are going to be low vis. So I'm probably just going to paint them overall gray. But like I said, my big issue is here, and I'm having a heck of a time getting this smoothed out. But it's pretty good now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another. Last time, what I did is I put some thinned Mr. Surfacer 500 on here. I thinned it with some lacquer thinner. I think I'm going to do that again, and then we'll sand it out tomorrow or something. So I'm going to do that right now. which is going to be really fun because my ventilation in here sucks. So if I start slurring or talking funny, I talk funny anyway, right? It's not my fault. Right. You got a lot of ships in that fleet there, Jason. That's some good stuff there. I've got a bunch of 1/700th Japanese and some U.S. stuff, and I think I've even got like a Prince Wales or whatever it is. All my British friends are like, "Oh, no." Sorry, I'm not coherent today. So, oh wow, I just stuck that. Funny, my day. So, I was up really late last night because I couldn't sleep. Because my body was aching, because my blood sugar was trying to do whatever it was trying to do. And it's really hard to sleep when everything aches. But, my wife let me sleep in. And anyway, I woke up with aching muscles. Imagine that. And, so anyway, I decided, well, at some point I'm going to get up and I'm going to go out and it's been raining so much it's really hard to get the lawn done because it takes a while. And so anyway, I go out and I'm like, all right, get the lawnmower going. I was going to go buy a new lawnmower this year. And I say this every year, but every year the old one starts up and runs, so I don't do it. And so what happened was, I'm just thinning this stuff down. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. I'm just thinning it down and then laying it on here, and then I will come back and sand it out. But what the thinning does is it smooths it out, because this stuff is really thick. And it doesn't brush smooth if you just brush it at full strength. It just doesn't, because it's super thick. But anyway, at least I didn't say Prince of Tides. Or Prince of Bel Air or something like that. So anyway, so I went out and long story short, I got the old lawnmower running. Cool. So I start cutting grass with it, and I'm like, all right, cool. But it's not cutting that well. It's like, well, I haven't put a blade on it in a couple of years, so, and I know I've hit some rocks and stuff with it. So I go down to the hardware store and I get a blade and I get a new spark plug and stuff. And I come home and I put the new blade on it and I put the new spark plug on it. And I pull the starter, and the fuel tank literally falls off. Just falls off. I'm like, what? So that wasn't fun. So anyway, so of course I'm sitting here thinking, oh great, I was going to go buy a new lawnmower. And now and I just went and spent money on a blade, money on a spark plug, and I just sunk like $40 into this thing, and what happened was that the bracket is cast into the tank, and the bracket snapped off, so there's a hole in the tank where the bracket went. So anyway, I jumped on and jumped on the web, and the first thing I pull up is I find one and it's $80, and I'm like, but it's the carb in the tank, and I'm like, jump on eBay, and I found it for $25. So I ordered that, and the other good thing is I also found a carburetor for my chipper shredder, which I've got torn apart for $16 because I was going to go buy a carb kit. But it's like I got the whole carburetor for $16. So anyway, not that has anything to do with this, but that's just so that's how my day started out, and then things just happened. But yeah, so the plan here is this stuff's already flashed off. And so have I. I'm gonna. So I'll let this dry, and like I said, I'll sand it out. I have to go into the old shop and get some of my fine sandpaper and finish sanding it out. And then this is actually just Ace Hardware gray primer, and it's the perfect deck color. So I'll hit it again with that, and then I'll just take some Model Master neutral gray or something, paint the hull, paint the island and stuff, and we'll call it good. And it's not going to be an exact. The flight deck will still have issues, but at least this major one we'll set it off from the midway, but the elevators and stuff, this stuff isn't exactly right. And I've said before, my brother-in-law doesn't care. I do, but he doesn't care. So, and honestly, you think that, or a lot of people just assume that, these guys that worked on this stuff all the time and whatnot, at least, especially during World War II, that, a lot of these guys really had no idea the technical stuff about what they were working on or what they were flying or whatever. They were just doing their job. And many of them can't really tell you much about the stuff that they worked on because they didn't care. They're just fixing stuff. It's not like modern times where most people, maybe not most people, but a lot of people that go into the military and work on aircraft and stuff have an interest, so they're interested in what exactly they're working on and whatnot. And speaking of, Jeff, I have an F-16 question for you, since you have a source. On the sides of the intake, correct me if I'm wrong, but the starboard side has the TFW badge and the port side has a TFS badge, the squadron badge versus the wing badge. I don't have any really clear pictures of what I'm trying to build, and that's the best I can tell. That's kind of what the stuff looks like. And it gets kind of hard to figure out because there's what am I thinking? It's hard to figure out because the at least the squadron patches in a lot of times were locally designed. So there's an official patch, and then there's the the custom patch or the locally designed patch or however you want to say it. And so they don't you're not necessarily aware of what they're actually using. I had a cool thought on this. I'm thinking I might take a couple of these F-18s and actually have them doing a flyby. I wish they would have had some folded rotors for these, but oh well. Along with the folded wings on these. That's a big airplane, man. Okay, so enough of that. Wow, that stuff is vicious. Okay. So, Back to the 335. So I've been saying I was been working in here on stuff this week, and so I got 2 new bookshelves. Well, 2 bookshelves, period, because there's nothing here, which you can't see, and I can't move the cameras or I'd show you, because, you know, I've nailed them all down so I can do this and they don't move. There's a mission patched. Yeah, right. But there's that on the aircraft? Is that patch on the aircraft? Anyway, so there's a bunch of stuff going on. So I got these so that I can get my reference material out of my garage and out of the boxes and here where I can use it. And I don't know that 2 bookshelves are going to be enough, but that's all they had. They were on clearance. But it's a start. I think I could get most of my reference material up there. Harbor Freight super glue. Yeah, buddy. I got some new glue coming in. But I'll tell you about that when it gets here. It's like a gap filling, kind of like a replacement, a modern replacement for Zap-A-Gap. Maybe. We'll see. So I've been told, or so I've heard. So this thing is not bad. I haven't looked at it in a while. I've got some areas here that I need to deal with, like this. Excuse me. That's really bad right there. This wing's not exactly straight. I kind of screwed up. But it'll do. It'll do, donkey. It'll do. And it didn't sit all the way down here in the back. But we'll deal with that when the time comes. So my big problem right now, or what I need to deal with, is these canopies and how well they fit and what I'm going to do with them. These have, a lot of you remember, I'm sure, the old Monogram kits. The canopy framing was just basically 2 raised lines. And I don't know whether the thought was that you could fill in between them with a brush and let the paint flow and it would stay, you know, like they were some kind of a channel or something. But I don't think that ever actually worked very well. So there's a couple things I need to do. I need to figure out if I am going to leave the canopies open or closed. And, you know, like most people, I've been doing them open for years, but I was thinking about this the other day, and it's like, you know, you very rarely see aircraft on the ground with the canopies open, unless they're on alert, right? Because they don't want crap getting in there. Obviously, that makes sense. So, I don't know. Then one went on tail like the ATFW Wolf. Yeah. See, I think that changed because I noticed I was looking at some C's, and the C's had some extra stuff that the extra markings that the A models didn't. All right, where are we at? There we go. Tell you what, this is the only way to do clear parts. Clear parts are notorious for cracking under stress. Oh, speaking of cracking under stress. So here's a good one. Talk about being aware of your surroundings or whatever. So I was so I got the LED strip put in the display case over here. I'll show. Like I said, I will show all you guys all this stuff. But I'm gonna have to do it in stills or something, or do it with my phone because the cameras are fixed mounted. But where was I? Oh, the canopy thing. So I had the case away from the wall because I was looking for the tail cone for the F-16, right? And so I was like, well, I was in there, I'll put some other stuff in there and whatnot. And I wanted to rearrange the shelf. Well, first of all, I got the shelf off one notch and I didn't even notice it. My wife comes down and she's like, is that crooked? Yeah. So I had to pull it away anyway. But anyway, I put an RGB LED strip in there and whatnot. And but I was putting the F4U1A in there, and the one that we finished a while back. And I said, okay, we're done. We're not going any further. But apparently the canopy fell off, and I didn't hear it hit the floor. And I put the thing in there, and I pushed the case back against the wall, and I go to take a step, and I had my flip-flops on, and I it's a good thing that I'm like totally self-aware or whatever, because I felt my sandal hit that thing before I put any pressure on it, and backed off and looked down, and it was the canopy off the Corsair. And I was like, oh my God. And I could have used the one without the extra frame because I have it, but it still wouldn't have been exactly right. But anyway, so yeah, that kind of was like, that could have been really bad, but it wasn't. So yeah, so I got to pull the case out again anyway and fix that up. And I have to say that something that I find really weird about this aircraft are the canopies. And the reason I think the canopies are weird is because well, I don't know, maybe not, but I was going to say, the Germans are so meticulous about their engineering and how they do things and whatnot, that I just find the canopy design on this aircraft like a total hack job, and I'm not sure what they were thinking. Wow, that fits really good. That's pretty amazing. That fits really, really, really well. Cool. So yeah, this thing is just like this, and this forward windscreen, and it's funky. It's really funky. That's what it is. It's really funky. So I think I'm going to close canopy this thing. Don't do that. I think I'll close canopy this thing. I really think I will. Man, that stuff's kicking my butt. Not the Mr. Servicer, but the whole medication thing I was talking about earlier. So, changes and stuff. So, here's the deal. I bought a green screen, so I got a green screen coming. And I'm hoping... I had my basketball playing son stand behind me with his arms stretched out to see... if what I bought would cover the area, and it definitely will. I've yet to figure out exactly how I'm going to deal with where to put it. But so yeah, so in a couple of weeks, we'll have a green screen, so there you won't see all this stuff back here, which should be helpful, less distracting anyway. And make the whole thing a little nicer. And I have some other things I'm going to start doing besides this. I have some ideas for some different channels. One is music related. Not me playing music, but me basically talking about songs and lyrics and whatnot. Kind of like a song review, but nothing new because I think they quit making music after about 1998. Right? Oh, I'm sure that's not going to be. I'm sure that's going to upset somebody, but so yeah, so there's other stuff going on. And yeah, so over there on the Night Fighter build, Ken is rolling right along. This is my entry. Jeff, I think, is about ready to paint if he didn't paint today. And so I plan on getting full bore on this thing next week. I'll be gone Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But yeah, so I plan on getting full bore on this here, like after the 11th, after the 10th. Rain or shine tomorrow. There you go. Oh, you're off for a week, huh? That reminds me, I got to put in my vacation. So wife and ours, my 25th anniversary, July 2nd. So I'm taking the whole week off. Not sure why. Probably so I can just fix stuff around the house. The hottest part of the year. But yeah, so that's the plan. So there's going to be a lot of different stuff going on, and hopefully stuff to make it better. We'll see how the green screen thing works. The only other thing that I'm thinking is, I'm not sure how this resolution works here. I have an old 1080p small monitor that I use, and it's really more of a television than a monitor, so it's kind of funky on its resolution, the way it presents stuff. So basically what I'm saying is I'm not I don't really know what you guys are seeing compared to what I'm seeing. So that's something I need to deal with. But so that may, we may need a camera. I may need a camera change at some point. But the green screen, I'm probably going to have to add some lighting, some different lighting for the screen itself. So that'll change the way things look. So I guess what I'm saying is things are going to look different. Yeah, no, I just had tailcode and reg number and the blue and white checkerboard. I have the picture, but it's such low resolution I can't really blow it up. And I found some other ones are later. I mean, they're still A models, but they're later. So, and the C's, the C's have the squadron patch up on the tail. I think. Anyway, actually, here, I can show you. I can show you right now. Let's see here. Let me switch to desktop. Okay. So this is a different aircraft, but it's the same squadron. This looks like the wing badge to me. There's the Falcon, tail codes, and the checkerboard. That's it. I've made these. I still need to make this. I forgot about that. But yeah, so like I said, I'll know more about what I'm dealing with tomorrow. This is the aircraft I'm doing, and this is really pixelated, so it's really hard to see what's going on. And here's a decal sheet that I found, but I think this is a C model. And then here's a 1/32 scale sheet for a C model. And see here, this has got the badge. So this is the squadron badge is in the checkerboard. Anyway. And yeah, thought I had another picture somewhere. This is a C model. And that's a P-47. So that's where we're at. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about right now because I'm kind of stuck. I could work on some other stuff, but I don't want to get off track on these two things. I really need to get these things done. And it rained all day, so I couldn't do any painting. But it's supposed to be like really warm the rest of the week. And I need to I also need to do the hull numbers for the Coral Sea. Where am I? There we go. Where am I? There I am. Okay. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting my reference stuff out and getting it in here. And yeah, so I think that's it for tonight. I'm like toasted. I'm really jazzed about these bookcases, but I wish they had more of them. They were on clearance for $35. I'll post a picture of them later or something. And then we'll go from there. How's that? I'm toasted. I'm really tired. And like I said, it's not that I'm tired, it's that my body isn't used to this level of glucose, or it hasn't been for a long time, so it's like I don't know what to do. I can't move. Yeah, so that's it for this week, I guess. I'm going to be working on those two things throughout the week, so I'll probably be jumping on doing some quick live streams throughout the week. All right? That sound good? Hey, keep working on your Night Fighter builds if you're working on them. I'm not sure what we're going to do next. Maybe we'll just do a era build or something. Who knows? All right? Okay, that's it for this week. We'll see you next time. Take care of the people you love. Bye.